Hi, well, I have in front of me here an extremely popular product manufactured by Triax called the Triax. The idea of this product is to allow for two things. First of all, to take a product such as a satellite receiver that has no RF output, and to take a SCART output, convert it to an RF output, which basically means to be able to run it a signal through something like a satellite cable to a second location in a house. And the other thing it does is it's able to add a 9-volt signal onto this, so it allows you to control the box from the remote location. So basically you get a satellite receiver like this, send the signal to a second television, and also use a Sky Eye and that allow you to change the channels with a remote control in the second room. So what comes in this kit? Well, you have the base unit here, which is a Tri-Link itself, okay? If you look at the interesting features of it, there's an AV input on it, and also an AV output. This is a great feature because it allows you, if you have a situation where you have a box that has a single SCART output, you can feed the SCART in here and get the signal from here to feed off to the second location, but you can also feed the SCART directly back out to the television here, as I'm going to demonstrate in a few moments this is actually working. You have a channel adjuster here for setting the channel that's actually being broadcast on. You have two outputs here. You have an RF1, which is a non-9-volt output, which simply will feed a picture to a television. But the real killer application is the RF2, which is a 9-volt output, which allows you to both change the channel and also to operate it remotely with a Sky Eye, which is this unit that we see here that comes with in the box. And then there's an IR sensor here, which is an infrared sensor, which will take a signal being sent from the second location and feed it back into the front of the box to allow you to change the channels. And if we look on the far side of it here, what we have here is an RF input. So if we had a TV aerial or something like this, we could feed it in and feed it at a frequency where it wouldn't interfere, or feed it and combine it in with the output from the satellite receiver. And the DC in, this is where the power unit comes in, which powers the whole box. And basically there's an on-off switch here to turn the unit on. So I'm quickly going to demonstrate how this works. So this current Triax box here, the SR110, is being fed up into this television here. Now if I come along here and pull that SCART lead out, the signal is now gone. And if you look on the back of the box here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a SCART lead here. Now this second SCART doesn't come with the box, so you may need to purchase one of these if you don't have one. You push it into the back of the box here, you come along, and then you push it into the AV input here. It's cool. You come along and you push this into the AV output. Initially no picture, for the reason that we need to add power to this. So we come along, we push the power unit in here, we run the lead across, and we're going to feed it into the DC in here, okay? So I'll just turn this at an angle hopefully so you can see it. Second I connect power to it, picture will flick on the television, cool out. If I knock this switch off, it'll knock off, as will the LED, okay? On it goes. So there's a gain control here as well on top, should have mentioned, which just adjusts the power on the output, okay? So the next thing we're going to do here is we need to take a cable. Normally there'd be cable in the wall or something like this where you'd be connecting the cables that are there already to run it to a second room. I've done this in the simplest format. On one end of the cable I've put on this F connector here, which I'm going to connect in here to the 9-volt RF2 output here. What I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to come along. These units normally seem to be defaulted at channel 36, which is the output here, okay? So I'm just going to leave it at that. And what I'm going to do is, that's quite a good channel to pick because nothing normally broadcasts on that frequency, as I found from my years of installing. And we come in here, and we could feed it directly into the television like this, and we'll be able to pick up the picture that way. But better again is if we feed it into the Sky Eye first. So we feed it into the Sky Eye here, and you will see the LED comes on this, and this means this Sky Eye is now live, so it can pick up, this sensor here can pick up signals on a remote control and feed it back to the Tri-Link unit. Now clearly in normal situation, the television wouldn't be right next to the box, it'd be in a remote location, a different room in the house. So we push this in, so we go and we look at the television here now. What can we see? We can see a blank screen, okay? So we come along and we hit the menu button, and I'll just scroll down to the tuning menu here. So I'll go for a manual tune. So channel thing, and I'll just do a search backwards here. So it's going to go through all the different channels in the UHF frequency, and is going to look and see, can it find this picture being broadcast. Bang, it's after finding it. We scroll down further, we arrow across to store it, and now it's stored into the thing, and now I'll simply hit the menu button. Might be slightly different in your television here in terms of how you tune it in, but that's basically how it works, okay? Now the one thing I'll say on this is, and it's quite this thing is that at this point in time, if I was to pick up the remote control that goes with this particular box and hold it up to the SkyEye sensor like this, you can see I can't change channels. It doesn't work. And the reason is, this SkyEye here is picking up the signal, feeding it back through the cable into the TriLink, but it's not actually being fed onto the box to tell it to change channels. So what we do at this point in time is, we simply get this IR sensor here, we push it in here, and we get these sensors and we put them at the front of the box here. So around the area on the box here, where we'd expect that the sensor that picks up the remote control is going to be located. There's little sticky pads here, so when we find the right spot, we can stick them onto the box and onto the sensor thing here. Okay? And what we do now is we simply come along, and now we can see we can flick channels, because it's now successfully picking it up. But if we move that sensor away, it won't work. Put the sensor back and it works again. So that's it, a full demonstration of the TriLink, how to install it. It's pretty simple. The first time I went to put one of these in, I just didn't understand it. It took me about 2 hours, but you can see now, hopefully with the guidance of this video, this is pretty simple stuff. This box sells like crazy as it is, but because of Sky's decision with the new standard HD box not to give an RF output on it, the demand for this product is going to go through the roof, because it's a very, very popular feature to run it to the second room. So great little unit, sold hundreds of them, never had one back yet, and it's a lot of stuff with Triax, you know, good quality stuff.